Namaskar. Today we will discuss about low vision definition and different terminologies. We all know that according to RPWD Act 2016, there are 21 type of disabilities identified by Government of India. In that, two disabilities related to visual impairment. One is blindness, second one is low vision. So what is blindness? Blindness means a condition where a person suffers from any of the following condition. That is number 1, total absence of sight. Number 2, visual acuity not exceeding 3 by 60 meters or 10 by 200 feet in the better eye with correcting lenses. Third point, limitation of field of vision to an angle of 10 degrees or worse. Then next disability is low vision. Low vision means a condition where a person has any of the following conditions. Number 1, visual acuity not exceeding 3 by 18 or less than 3 by 60 meters in the better eye with best possible correction, or limitation of field of vision less than 40 degrees to up to 10 degrees. A RPWD 2016 Act base, these are two definitions about blindness and low vision. First of all, we have to discuss about Snellen chart. So based on Snellen chart only, total blindness or low vision is assessing. So that's why in Snellen chart there are 7 lines are there. We all know about Snellen chart. Almost in all the developed countries for vision assessment we are using for Snellen chart only. In Snellen chart 7 lines are there. First line, visual acuity is 3 by 60, that is top line. First line means top line. Visual acuity is 3 by 60. Second line, visual acuity is 3 by 36. Third line, visual acuity is 3 by 24. Fourth line, visual acuity is 3 by 18. Fifth line, visual acuity is 3 by 12. Sixth line, visual acuity is 3 by 9. Seventh line, visual acuity is 3 by 3. Like these 7 lines are there in the Snellen chart. So based on this only visual acuity can be measured. So first we have to remember here, bottom to 3 lines. It means visual acuity 3 by 3, 3 by 9, 3 by 12. Those who are able to read last 3 lines, they are called normal person. Then those who are not able to read 3 by 60, that is top line in the Snellen chart, they are called as a totally blind. Those who are identify fourth line, that is 3 by 18, they are called as low vision. Here 3 points we have to remember: normal person, low vision person, totally blind person. So normal person visual acuity is 3 by 3. Low vision person visual acuity is 3 by 18. Totally blind visual acuity is 3 by 60. So what is visual acuity? Visual acuity means sharpness of vision or clarity of vision. From 3 meter distance is able to see object clarity or not. So based on that only So we will assess the totally blind or partially blind or normal person. Then important definitions. So normal vision. So normal vision means a person is able to perform all close and distance visual tasks that are normally expected in his community. Refractive correction may be needed to normal vision. So normal person means a person is able to perform all close and distance tasks in the normally expected in the community. So maybe they are wearing opticals. With the help of opticals, they will cope up in educational level or daily activities without any help. So they are normal people. Already we discussed about normal people, visual acuity 3 by 3 only. It means in the Snellen chart, so last three line, those who are able to read, they comes under normal person or normal vision. Then second point is, another important definition is legally blindness. Legal blindness means it is the legal definition used to determine whether an individual with vision impairment is eligible for government benefits. So already we discussed about totally blind. So totally blind and legally blind in same definition. Sometimes we will use as a legally blind. So for legally blind or totally blind, visual acuity, we know that 3 by 60 in the Snellen chart. Those who are not able to read first line in the Snellen chart, they are called as a legally blind. They are eligible for all the government benefits, all the educational benefits. It means government benefits means they are eligible for pension, they are eligible for travel exemption. Education benefit means so need not to pay examination fee, and they have some concessions. Government is providing for writing examination, scribers, government is giving extra time for them. These all availing all the legally blind or totally blind persons. Then next, another important definition is partially sighted. One who has distance visual acuity between 3 by 24 to 3 by 60 in the better eye with the best possible correction is called partially sighted. So earlier, three definitions are there: totally blind, low vision, partially sighted. In 1995 Act, clearly they mentioned about these three definitions. But in RPWD Act, government was recognized only two definitions, that is totally and low vision. Already we discussed about totally blind, what is totally blind and what is low vision. Then another important definition is visual function. What is visual function? Visual function means it is defined as ability to perform important tasks that require vision. So every person, even in totally blind or partially blind, also they have some residual vision. Residual vision means whatever they lost, they are having some remaining vision. For example, we know that about that medical certificate. Government of India or government of various states are giving medical certificate for visually impaired persons. In three categories are there. Those who are lose 40%, they are called as a benchmark disability. 40 to 75%, they are called as a partially blind or low vision. So above 85 or more than 85%, they are all are comes under totally blind or legally blind. So even in totally blind person also they have residual vision. If they lost 90% of 95% of vision, they have 5%, remaining 5% is there. That 5% also useful for daily activities or to identify some object in their daily life. So visual function means it is defined as ability to perform important tasks that required vision. And one more important definition in low vision, visual impairment. Visual impairment means it refers to reduced ability to perform. Reduced ability to perform. So when the person lost vision, his ability is reducing. In which area? Reducing in reading, he can't read on par with normal child. Reducing ability in writing, he can't write on par with normal child or on par with normal person. Even visually impaired person also can write, can read, but the speed is different. Why? Because these visually or low vision persons or low vision children are using assistive devices. With the help of assistive devices, a writing pattern is differ or it will take longer time. So they have to change paper when they use braille paper, braille slate or brailler. Continuously some changes is there. That's why they took more time when we compare to normal child. And also reduce ability in orientation also. So what is orientation? Orientation means understand. When the visual impaired person wants to move in the environment, first of all, he has to understand about the environment. In that area, what are the landmarks are there, what are the clues are there, where is temple, where is church, where is lake, or where is pharma company. Like that, some clues and landmarks are available in the environment. So the person should understand environment. After that only he moves from one place to another place. So when we lose our vision, reducing ability in environment, normal person can see, easily identify what is coming front side or back side, which vehicle is coming, which is dangerous, which is harmful, easily identified by normal child. But these visual impaired person or child, maybe they can't identify. For identifying also it will take more time. So that's why some reducing ability in orientation also. The next one is mobility. Mobility means action. Action means visual impaired person move one place to another place safely, gracefully, purposefully, who is called as a mobility. So visually impaired person without any assistance, with the help of white cane, he will go every day his office or his school, wherever he has some work, and independently will move. These two terms, orientation and mobility, related to walking. So that's why these visually impaired children are reducing ability in reading, writing, orientation and mobility. Then next important definition is vision rehabilitation. So what is vision rehabilitation? Are services provided to both who are partially sighted and those who are blind. So these services include mobility training, adaptive skills training. So those who are losing vision, so we have to give mobility orientation and mobility training for them in the initial stage. So adaptive skills training also we have to give. Generally mobility training immediate enroll in the school, that is also 1:1 basis we have to give, not like that group teaching. So 1:1 basis only we have to train to visually impaired children how to walk, how to hold stick, how to walk with sighted person. All these training we have to give in early stage only. So because of that, and they will go everyday schools, dropout rate will be decreased. They are also cope up with normal children. They are also eligible for inclusive education setup. So that's why, according to my knowledge and according to my opinion, orientation is more important than education. So that's why each and every parent or special educator must and should you have to teach them orientation mobility training as soon as possible, as soon as identification of visual impaired child. So adaptive skills training also required. Why? Because generally normal person can see everything based on imagination, and based on with the help of eyes easily he can identify the what is going on in the environment. So but visual impaired person or visual impaired child is having some limitations. So we all know that there are three limitations according to Berthold Lowenfield: limitation in range and variety of experiences, limitation in independent mobility, limitation on environment. Nowadays, we are in information and technology period. So many devices are there. Even though 90% or 95% they cope up, they are coming into society, they are getting very good jobs. There is no doubt they are all getting. But these 1% or 2% also we will accept as a limitation. So these limitation अपन cope up करने के लिए, or if you want to cope up these limitation, if you want to enroll in the normal school, if you want to mingle in the society, so we have to teach them adaptive skills training. So we have to, that is called as a mediator learning. All the visual impaired person, all the visual impaired children, with the help of mediator learning only they will learn the education. But mediator learning means without a text material, without a teacher help, without a teaching learning material, they can't understand easily. That's why, so teaching material should be adapted or should be do arrange flexible for them to acquire the knowledge. So another point is low vision instruction career services, and we have to give career service to low vision children. Career service, which one? What are the sources are available for low vision children in the society? What type of jobs they will get? These all we have to counsel them, we have to give proper training, then they will concentrate on education, they will keep some hopes on their lives. So based on that, they will do hard work. They all utilize their information and technology. So based on that, nowadays most of the visual impaired persons are getting jobs in the various government sector, various sectors, that is in MNC company, private sector, or even in abroad also. They are able to work with the help of technology and proper training, like that. And not only that, we have to give psychological counseling also. So few students also they feel when they lose their vision, so they will go to depression. What can I do? When we compare to other persons, I am nothing. I am becoming as a burden to the society or family. I am unproductible person. Like these, some psychological feelings they will keep. So that's why initial stage only we have to give proper psychological counseling for children as well as parents also. So lack of awareness of parents only, till today we don't have proper percentage of literacy rate. When we compare to normal child, we are backward. That is reason of parents only. Most of the parents will think my child is blind, he can't do anything. What can I do? And maybe if I send also, maybe expensive for education, like that they will think. So we have to give simultaneously parents as well as visually impaired students. So through that they will cope up and they will come or they will enter into the society and they will get some benefits and confidence level will be increased. And they knows what is going on in the society. They will interact with the neighbors, siblings, and so through that and confidentially and independently they will lead their lives. The next one, aspects of vision loss. When vision loss, where are the major aspects are there? The first aspect is disorder. Disorder means anatomic changes. So first aspect is disorder. Disorder means anatomic changes. It means inflammation, atrophy, etc. Inflammation means when we lose our vision, eyeballs will swollen or pain or irritation will come. And not only that, and atrophy. Atrophy means dry eyes. So these symptoms will see in low vision children. Then second point is impairment. Second aspect of vision loss is impairment. So functional changes. Impairment means functional changes. When we lose vision, functional changes will be occur. It means they can't see properly. So visual acuity problem. Visual acuity already we discussed. Visual acuity means sharpness of vision or clarity of vision. From 3 meter distance, they can't identify the object properly. So that is visual acuity. The next point is field of vision problem. Field of vision means normal person can see 180 degrees angle in the front of eye. Those having vision problem, they can't see 180 degrees angle. Only they can see 40 to 10 degrees. It means the side vision gradually decreasing. And another problem in impairment, contrast sensitivity. So they can't identify the colors. They face lot of problem in the dim light or any climate changes will occur. At the time also they will face some problem, or power cut. At the time also they will face some problems. So they can't identify the color sensitivity. The next aspects of vision loss is disability. So disability means skills and abilities affected. When we lose vision, that effect on skills of the person or child affected. It means they can't read fast, they can't write fast, they are not doing independently daily living skills, they are depending on parents, they are depending on siblings. So without assistance they can't do their ILS skills or DLS skills. And most of the times they are depending on mobility also. So without assistance or without escort, they are unable to move. So these problems will occur when they lose vision. Then last one is handicap. Handicap means sociometric consequences. Sociometric consequences means extra effort, loss of independence. So he need all the time extra efforts. He need all the time assistance like escort. Whatever he wants to do, he is depending on mother or father. So without mother and father, he can't do anything. When the person is depending like that, even society also will degrade. Society will think He don't know anything, he can't do anything, he is waste fellow, like that some words will be hearing in the society also. So that's why these four aspects of vision loss more important in our subject of point of view. We have to remember that disorder, impairment, disability, handicap. Once again I will explain. Disorder means anatomic changes. Impairment means visual acuity problem, field of vision problem, or contrast sensitivity problem. Then disability means skills and abilities affected, that is reading skills, writing skills, orientation mobility skills, or ILS skills. Then handicapped means socioeconomic consequences, extra efforts, loss of independence, like that. Then goals of low vision management. Once low vision occur, once we identify he comes under low vision, what we will do? What type of services we have to provide for them? That is, number one, increase functionality, make the most of the remaining vision. Though whatever they lose, we all know that low vision means they lose their vision 40 to 75%. It means remaining vision is there 25% or 20%, whatever the remaining or residual vision is there. So we have to train them how to use remaining or residual vision. We have to give vision stimulation activities. So based on that, they will improve or they will use their residual vision for their daily activities or for their orientation, mobility, etc. So we have to proper train them in remaining vision, how to use remaining vision. Then second point is provide link to community resources and support services. Those who lost their vision or those who identified as a low vision, we have to give support services. Support services means ILS skills we have to give. In the early stage, we have to teach them each and every activity one by one or step by step or chronological order. So based on that, they will remember. So gradually their dependency will be decreased. Independently they will do their daily living activities. So we have to teach them in the task analysis method. All the DLS skills we have to teach in the form of task analysis method. Task analysis means we have to identify one major activity. That major activity we have to divide into parts wise, or that parts, and that is we have to explain them in the orderly or chronologically, so they will remember. So after that, independently they are able to perform their daily activities. Then orientation also support service. We have to teach them individually orientation, mobility. That is, four type of mobility techniques are there: sighted guide techniques, cane techniques, dog techniques, smart cane techniques. These four type of orientation mobility training we have to give to visually challenged children or low vision children. Then educational services also we have to give. And before that, community services, community resources also we have to explain them. From community what we will get, how to speak with the elders, how to speak in the community, if they require any assistance, how to approach the public, what are the sources to improve our skills. What are the schemes for blind children or low vision? How to get pensions, how to get tax exemption, everything we will get information through community resources only. So we have to teach them community resources or support services and educational services. So most of the visually impaired students are enrolling in the different type of schools. In India, various type of schools are there. For severe disabled, residential schools are available. For partially or low vision children, inclusive schools also available for them. Or severe and multiple problem children, home based education also available. So that's why we have to teach them educational services. What type of educational services available for low vision children? With the help of opticals, with the help of lenses, with the help of large print material, with the help of trained teachers, they can read and write without paying a single NP. They can enroll in the nearby school and they are eligible for sitting along with the normal child. That is called as inclusion. Inclusion means education along with normal children. It means the CWSN children will enroll in the normal school itself. They are also sitting along with normal child. So their trained teachers are there. With the help of trained teachers, with the help of general teachers, with the help of peer groups, so that they are coping. In that educational field, government is providing some scholarships. Government is providing for free of cost assistive devices. Government is providing midday meals for them also. Government is exempting to pay examination fees. Government is providing extra time in the examination. Government is minimizing the qualifying marks in the examination. These all services, everything we have to explain them. Then functional effects of low vision. Once they lose their vision, loss of central vision, loss of peripheral vision and blurred vision. These are the major problems they will face. Central vision loss. Those having low vision problem, central part they can't see. For example, in the front of me, 3 persons are sitting. If I am low vision person, I can't see middle person. Remaining 2 persons I can able to see. Out of 3 persons, those who are sitting in the middle, I am unable to identify. This is called central field of loss. Then peripheral vision loss. Second point is peripheral vision loss. Peripheral vision loss means in same group, in 3 persons, I can identify only center person. Remaining 2 persons I cannot understand, I cannot identify. It means you don't have peripheral vision. His side vision is gradually decreasing. So we have to understand that. Then last one is blurred vision or glare. It means that person cannot identify central person or peripheral person. Everything will be seen as blurred. So these major problems will identify in the children with visual impairment: loss of central vision, loss of peripheral vision, and blurred vision. Loss of central vision means central part I cannot see, or we those who lost their vision, they cannot see. Loss of peripheral vision means gradually their side vision is decreasing, is able to identify only central part. Then blurred vision means central or peripheral you can't understand. These are the major effects. The next one, issues related to decreased acuity. So visual acuity, loss of visual acuity, what are the major problems the children will face? That is number one, difficulty in reading. Those who having visual acuity problem, they are facing difficulty in reading. Those who are having visual acuity problem, they are unable to write, or they are unable to read properly. With the help of assistive devices, they are writing or they are reading also, but not on par with normal child. Maybe they will take more time, they will do some mistakes. Usually they will leave one line between another line. Operation signs and everything very difficult to identify. These are the major problems we will identify. And they have another problem, inability to recognize distant objects also. It means that identification of bus numbers, street numbers, street names, they can't identify. These are the major problems you can see in low vision children. Then issues related to visual field loss. Those having visual field problem, location of scotoma important. So they are having side vision problem, peripheral vision problem. Then they are having mobility problem. They cannot travel independently. They are depending on escort or parents. And reading may be require adaptations. If we want to read, and we have to arrange adaptations. So generally for low vision children, we have to adapt in classroom. It means that we have to arrange them artificial lights, natural lights, contrast sensitivity or contrast levels, etc. And current blindness and low vision data in the globally. Estimated visually impaired persons globally 2,53 millions. In that 36 millions totally blinds, 217 millions low visions. Once again I will explain you. Estimated visually impaired persons globally 253 millions. In that 36 millions totally blind or legally blinds, 217 millions low visions. It means moderate to severe visual impairments. In that 81% of people who are blind are having moderate or severe visual impairments are aged 50 years and above. So 81% of visual impaired age group is 50 years or above age group. And over 80% of all over visual impairment can be prevented or cured. It means that most of the vision problems curable only, but lack of awareness, lack of financial problems, so we are not cope up with that medical expenses. So till today, gradually the visual impaired percentage increasing, and unoperated cataract remains the leading cause of blindness or low vision in middle income countries. These underdeveloped countries, the medical expense is more. Frequently, we have to approach the doctor. So, maybe most of the people are neglecting. So, based on that, also, so percentage is increasing.